Hi there, welcome to Floating in Dreams. Today's video is going to be a tea time chat about makeup trends and hyped up products. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. Today's video is going to be another tea time chat. I know a lot of you enjoy my tea time chats. I always love chatting with you in the comments about your thoughts on the topics that I try to talk about. I do have to say though that I'm running out of ideas to be talking about in this video. So if you have any ideas of topics we haven't discussed in the past year and a half that I've been doing this video, then please let me know, because I would love to know what you want me to talk about. And this video was actually inspired by comments that I got from people. A couple of months ago, people were asking me, like, can you do a video about hyped up products? And this video is going to be the explanation of why I'm not like the best person to be asking to talk about hyped up makeup. And just telling you a little bit more about that. Before we get into the video though, it may be good to introduce myself. So hi, my name is Maaike. I live in the Netherlands. I have fair skin with a cool to neutral undertone. I have been reviewing makeup for more than a decade. I love trying eyeshadow palettes, Esses and Catrice, and getting the use out of my makeup. So if that sounds something like you might be interested in, then definitely consider subscribing by clicking the button down below. So yes, tea time chat about actually like makeup trends, hyped up products, and how I feel about that. So before we get into it though, I actually have a cup of tea. It's tea weather. We're getting there, you guys. It's definitely fall. The leaves are starting to turn. The mornings are starting to cool down, but we've had some lovely weather. So that's why cup of tea right now. It's a puka tea from the 3 ginger flavor. I got some teas for my birthday over the summertime, so I haven't had a chance to drink them all that much. But yeah, this has been one of my favorites that I hadn't tried before. So taking a sip because I have a lot to chat about today, I think. So hyped up makeup trends. The reason why I wanted to discuss this topic now is because over the summertime, I'm not sure if you were here, but we first had Strawberry Girl, then it was turned into Tomato Girl. We had Blueberry Nails. Like, everybody's like naming these things that aren't really a thing. I mean, the whole strawberry thing was mainly just very pink blush. And then when Tomato Girl rolled around, it was like a red blush with an orange undertone. And I was like, is this really where we're going now? And the whole blueberry nail trend, I was like, wow, I wore that kind of nail polish back when I was really into nail polish all the time. Like this soft baby blue. I think it was even a shade Cold Blueberry from Berry M that I had. Maybe I still have it actually, because I don't think I decluttered any of my Berry M nail polishes. The jelly nail paints, those were my favorite. And they did these really lovely pastel-y ones that I really enjoyed. So I could have hopped on the trend because I have these things lying in my house. And I could very much do it. We had latte makeup for a hot minute there. And some people were asking me, like, can you do latte makeup for cool toned skin? I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, why do people, and this is my main reason for wanting to do this video. So something pops up, it's a trend, whether it's blueberry nails, latte makeup, strawberry girl, tomato girl, whatever it is. And rather than thinking, I'm seeing this happening, is this right for me? They want to make it right for them. And that's just the thing I can never fully understand, because sure, I'd love to try the latte trend, but I think it just looks best on people with medium, slightly more olive skin tones. Not mine. So I wasn't gonna try it. I really wasn't, because it's just not what I go for, and it doesn't go with my aesthetic. The strawberry thing, I could have played into if I'd like to. Like I mentioned, I have a couple of blushes. The whole fresh girl, icy makeup look trend that we got over the winter time, that's something I can get down with. That's what works for me. But I'm not going to try a trend just because it's a trend. I mean, back when the blocky brows were the thing to do over on Instagram, I did not try to force my brow shape into it. I wasn't gonna to. Like, it was, no way. So when it comes to trends, whether that be makeup or whether it's hyped up products, my first question when I look at it is, does this work for me? And if the answer to that question is no, I'm like, okay, next. And then I'm moving on until I find something that I do like. And I think that's also because, you know, I'm nearing 40, so I kind of know very well by now what I like, and there are definitely still things in my makeup collection that I bought when I was closer to hitting my 30s, when I was still sort of like exploring what might work for me. So I have some warm tone palettes that I've had for a long time that are from like back in the day when that was a hype and I was trying out all the warm tones. I'm really happy though to see that more brands are starting to pay attention to cooler tones again, because if it, at the end of the day, what it boils down to when it comes to what I prefer wearing is something that's just a little bit more cool toned. That's just where I'm coming from. It just goes best with my skin tone. I don't have a full-on cool undertone, so it's not as if I can't get away with a warm tone. I can definitely wear them. I wear them all the time. I love wearing red in my clothing. I love red lipstick. But for an eye look, it's not something I tend to gravitate towards. So whatever it comes to like trends and trending products and everything that you see online, my first question to myself is always, is this something that I can do? And if it's like a fashion trend, I ask myself, do I already have this in my wardrobe? Because I'm not about to buy something just because it's trending right now. I'm really not. Like when those really chunky dad sneakers were the thing. I mean, a chunky sneaker is still a thing. But I was like, do I see myself wearing this long term? Or is it like a thing I'll wear for a season? And then I'd never wear it again. And if the answer to that question is yes, I don't buy it. And I'm not going to buy into the trend just because it's a trend. And I feel very similarly about makeup products. Sure, there are a ton of hyped up products that I like the look of. I mean, the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude, I would still very much like to see that in real life and check it out to see whether I might get down with it. But just based on pictures alone, that's not a decision I can take. And Natasha Denona is not for sale in my country. I'm gonna go to a country that has a Sephora very, very soon. In fact, by the time you're watching this video, I may already be gone because I'm pre-filming some things. So I'm hoping to be able to see it in store there and decide, like, is this right for me, yes or no? But I've never been the kind of person to like buy something just because it's hyped up. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to film this video based off of that comment. Do I have hyped up products in my makeup collection? For sure, I do. Because sometimes the hype doesn't die down, or sometimes a product simply appeals to me. Take for instance the Haus Labs foundation. When that dropped, there was a ton of hype. I couldn't get my hands on it. But when I was in Sephora in the UK, I was able to find it. I was able to test it out. I was able to be shade matched to it. And I picked it up to see what the fuss is all about. Because I have a makeup channel, of course, I'm willing to try certain things. But not all of it. If we're going back to full coverage, matte foundations being a trend, like it was from like 2014 to 2017, I know I'm not going to be in my happy place. Because I'm not a full coverage matte finish girl. Why? My skin tone, like my skin type just doesn't like it. I don't need full coverage. Like I'm currently wearing a skin tint and it's all I need. Skin tint and a bit of concealer, and this is the look I get. I like things to be lightweight, dewy, that it doesn't dry down. I've got pretty dry skin, so anything that's full coverage and matte within an hour looks like pancake makeup and it's about to fall off my face. And of course we have really lovely full coverage formulas. I have one that I like for like the heavy duty days when I know I need to wear it all day and I'm going out afterwards. I have it. But I've got the one that I need. But if it ends up being a trend, I just know it's not for me. It's not going to go with my skin type. And that's why I struggle doing videos about hyped up makeup and trying those things as well, especially when like the whole skincare thing started happening and becoming a trend. I'm like, I've got sensitive skin. I cannot try 3 moisturizers in a month. Like I need to use a moisturizer until it is nearly gone before I can even tell you how it works for me, because I've had moisturizers that seemed fine at first, but then when I used them consistently for a longer period of time, they started breaking me out, or they weren't hydrating enough. My skin was like developing all these bumps. It's a whole thing. And I just am someone who likes to take their time trying things out. Whenever I buy an eyeshadow palette to try for the channel, I make sure I try every single shade in that palette. Not just a handful and then raving about it like this is the best new thing that's ever happened to me. That's just not how we roll over on this channel. So I understand the question of like, are there hyped up things that you like? Sure, there are plenty that I have tried or that I've bought because of hype, or because they were hyped up at some point in time. But here's the thing. I usually buy things, say for Essence and Catrice, which is why that's something I always call out in the intro. Say for Essence and Catrice, I don't buy anything upon release. I just don't. So I'm always late to the party, and that has to do with my location, where I'm at, which is another reason why I say that in my intro all the time. It's just not a country where I can easily get a lot of brands. And sure, I can order pretty much anything online, so that makes it a lot easier. But the people who can actually go out to Sephora and get it on next day delivery in the US are going to get it far, far quicker than I do, even if the product was released here the same day. Because very often the website I get it from is in a completely different country and it takes at least a week for it to be shipped. So it's just not like, it's always going to be like an after the fact kind of thing, which is why I try to go beyond the hype and try to figure out, is it worth the hype, yes or no? And very often my answer to that question is just no, it's not worth the hype. And because I very often don't buy things upon release, the hype has already died down by the time I buy it. So one product that pops into my head that I have and that I like is the Bare Mineral Bronzer. That was hyped up for quite a bit there. Like, that got a good bit of hype. But if I were to tell you about it now, then it's no longer a hyped up product. Everybody knows about it already. Like, so for me to be doing a dedicated video about hyped up products, no. I'm much better off doing a video of products that I wish would get more hype. That's a video I could do much more easily than talking about hyped up makeup, because by the time something has been hyped up and then me trying it and then being able to put a video together with enough product to talk about hyped up product, I mean, we're talking a year down the line. And most people will have forgotten about those products by that time because it's no longer hyped up because there's so many new releases that are coming out. And if you want to hear my thoughts about hyped up makeup, all you need to do is follow my new makeup releases video, really, because that's where I go over everything that's new. And again, that video I also don't do too often, so that very often I already know whether there's hype for a product once I'm already doing that video. And of course, I've been in the game long enough to be able to predict, okay, this release, people are going to go gaga for it. I just know. So I'm just coming from a very different perspective. And if you want me to talk about hyped up product, I just don't think it really goes with what my channel is trying to do and where I'm coming from with creating videos over here. I know there are creators who do it, who like buy like all the TikTok trends and who try them out. But I think that definitely goes more so if you have normal skin, if you're under 30, and if you have a light to medium skin tone. Then you can pretty much try everything. But for me, I know that most things that creators hype up aren't going to work for me because I'm older, because I have sensitive, dry, dehydrated skin that just doesn't like a lot of things, and I need to be pretty careful what I put on it, and I need to be very careful how quickly I change what I put on it. I mean, I know some creators do their makeup 3-4 times in a day and just film a different video with every single look they do. I do that. My skin is gonna hate me. It's gonna hate me. I mean, as The only thing I sometimes do is if I'm really in like a time crunch and I just need to get the looks done for some of my eyeshadow videos, then I'll use a cotton round with a bit of micellar water and I take off the eye makeup that I had already done and I create a new look. But if I do that twice, my eyelids get so red and puffy that the third look I try to do is already no longer looking the way I feel the first one did. And my eye gets red because there's always a little bit of the cleanser that gets somehow into my eye. And I need 2 days to recover. Like, my lids will not handle makeup the next day because it's still red and scruffy and a little scratchy feeling. And my skin just really doesn't like that. So I'm sure that I could try out a lot more product and I could be a much better creator if I were to be able to do that. But that's why I'm saying you need to be under 30s so that you're mainly wrinkle free, and you need to have fairly normal skin so that you can try anything from a skin tint to a matte foundation, from lightweight coverage to matte coverage, a full-on coverage concealer to something more dewy. Like, your skin shouldn't be too oily, your skin shouldn't be too dry in order to be able to try out everything that people are hyping up. Plus, I just feel skin tone-wise, it's mainly people with light to medium skin tones that have the largest pick of what's on offer. If you have super deep skin, forget it. You're not even going to be able to find your shade in most foundations. I mean, I'm super fair and I'm already struggling with it sometimes. So it's just not going to work for so many people to try out everything that's on the market. And I'm lucky in that respect that because I have fair skin, I have sort of found my niche. Like Essence and Catrice, I have been doing lighter shades now quite consistently. And I've really discovered K-beauty as a realm that I like to explore because I'm so fair-skinned. Because I just have such much lighter skin than other people, that those things actually work. And that the sheer washes of color that K-beauty aesthetics are all about just look incredibly good on me. But if you have anything deeper than medium skin, it's just not going to show up. So I understand why there isn't more hype for K-beauty, but that doesn't mean that, you know, other people with fair skin may not enjoy it. So that's why I always say in my intro that I have fair skin with a cool to neutral undertone, so that you at least know as a viewer that that's where I'm coming from. And that if you're looking for something else, you may need to find another creator. And that's one of the reasons why I always say, like, if you're looking for people to do certain content, don't ask of the 2 people you're following to create that content. Start finding content creators who actually make that content. So for me, playing into makeup trends, playing into makeup hype, it's not something that is very easy for me to do because of certain parameters, but it's also not something I want to do. I've said this many times before. The reason why I only talk about new makeup releases once a month is because if I were to do it every week and I tried to talk about everything and anything under the blue moon, I would just be too overwhelmed. My mental health would not like it. If I were to create the kind of videos that I see other creators make, I can't. And to then test them out and continuously trying out all of the trends and doing this, it may not go with my face shape, it may not go with my aesthetic, it may take way too much time in the morning to actually be able to do it. There are so many reasons why a lot of these things just don't work. And I just think that if you want people, like if you want recommendations for people who do talk about hyped up products and who try some of them, I think Angelica Nukvist is really good at that, and also Kelly Gooch. So those are 2 creators who I would say, like, go to them. Kelly Gooch tries out a lot of TikTok trends. I know Robert Welch does them as well, where he tries out a lot of like TikTok trends and sees if they actually work. And, you know, a lot of it just doesn't work, isn't worth being a trend at all. And I'm just like here on the sidelines going like, okay, I know what I like. I just want to stick to that. And it's not that I don't want to branch out. It's not about that. But it's because if you've just started following me, then you weren't there when I was branching out. A lot of these things that are happening currently in the beauty community, I've already tried. Strawberry makeup aesthetic? Oh, please. I've had a pink, like a reddish pink blush for years. I love a strawberry red lipstick. I just do. So strawberry girl makeup, this is why I'm like, it's not even something that I feel I need to try. Because I've been there. Especially with like all of the fashion trends. Like I'm seeing my entire teenage years coming by in a lot of these outfits. And some of it I enjoy. And some of it I've definitely bought into like the baggier straight leg trouser trend. And I'm not like the kind of millennial that's still wearing skinny jeans. If you are, you do you. You're fine. But I haven't thrown them away because I'm pretty sure a couple of years down the line, everybody's going to want to wear skinny jeans again. At least I've got a couple of good ones that fit me that I still have in my wardrobe. They're just tucked away in a corner, so I don't have to look at them all the time. But yeah, I'm going to keep those around because I know that things are going to revert back and we're going to have that trend coming back in a couple of years, which is why I'm much more a fan of just staying true to myself and knowing what I like. And the older I get, the better I know what works for me and the less inclined I am to be testing out all of the whatever is new and hyped up. And especially with like Essence as a brand, I try out all of their new releases every single 6 months. I still pick and choose from the line what stands out to me and what I actually find interesting. I don't just willy-nilly buy everything from that line even then. But there are just so many gimmicks in there. Like, oh, let's do color changing. Like I almost bought the Pink is the New Black limited edition that they released, which is all black looking products, but then when you put them on, they turn pink. And I'm like, it's trending. I mean, Lottie London has one of these black blushes that turns into this really pretty pink. I'm like, do I need this? I was like, no, I don't. I was there for the whole color changing thing at the end of the 90s. I really don't need this in my life right now. Like it doesn't go. And that's why I'm like, you know what? I don't need this. I don't need to try this. I don't need to go out of my way to try every trend and every hyped up product there is. I'm at this point in time, I'm much more inclined to try and get ahead of the hype, if you know what I mean. I mean, the Essence Luminous Eye Tint in Shimmering Taupe. I'm still trying to make that a trend. Like, I'm still trying to make that one happen. More people should rave about it because not enough people are. It's available in the US. So I'm just waiting for a larger US creator to pick one of them up and to rave about it because I'm pretty sure that when that happens, that product is just gonna explode. And that's usually what I get a lot more satisfaction from, is to find something that nobody is actually talking about yet and just falling head over heels in love with it. That's what I'm loving. And that's actually what's actually happening with some of the new Essence and Catrice products as well. That Catrice Soft Glam Filter Fluid, oh boy, it's up there. I had already decluttered my Charlotte Tilbury one, but I got it back because I gave it to a friend and she returned it to me so I could film a short. But the Catrice one I can wear as a base. The Catrice one I can wear all over my face, wear it as a base, which I cannot do with the Charlotte Tilbury one because it's too shimmery. Catrice can do some really, really good things. You just need to cut through all of the noise because they have a lot of products that don't necessarily work very well. We all know that. And that's why I like doing those videos. I know some people sometimes leave comments like, but you declutter most of it. Yeah, but if I love a Catrice product, it stays. And it stays in my collection until I've used it up. I mean, those luminous bronzers that they came out with, the holiday skin ones, divine. They only still do one shade though. They no longer do the light one, and the one that's in the palette isn't as good as the single. And that's one of the reasons why I end up decluttering so much of my Essence and Catrice stuff, because there is such a high turnover rate of them coming out with new product, and then there's something new that's come out And then I like that better than the thing I used to have. So then I sometimes get rid of the older thing. But yeah, I don't see myself decluttering the Falling Colors eyeshadow palette from Catrice anytime soon. My Essence mineralized, like the skin sensitive mineralized powder, I don't see myself getting rid of anytime soon. Those are just staples in my makeup collection. Essence Make Me Brow, you guys know how much I love that. And that's why I like trying Essence and Catrice so much, to try and see what they do. And I actually find it a bit of a shame that so many affordable brands like e.l.f. and like Catrice is doing now as well, Essence is doing it too, that all the hype that they now have is if they've created a dupe for a much more high-end product that is far more expensive than their version. Like, that's the only hype we're now seeing. I mean, Essence has the little cream bronzer stick. That's a great dupe for the Milk makeup sticks. And that's like the only hype that you really see these brands having now. And I wish that it was far more like the more unique products that these brands do that get the hype. Same for e.l.f. e.l.f. as well. Like, I did a full face of e.l.f. at the start of the year, and all of the stuff that is incredibly hyped up online were not my favorite. They weren't. But the stuff from the e.l.f. line that I was trying that I hadn't heard anybody talking about, that Celestial Winter eyeshadow palette, I cannot stop raving about it. And I hadn't heard anybody talking about it. It hadn't popped up in my new makeup releases video because it wasn't even on Instagram being promoted as a new release from e.l.f. It was limited edition. The only place I could even see people talking about it online was a Reddit subthread. And then I'm like, but those are the products, those become gems in my makeup collection. Those are the things that I end up enjoying. So at this point in time, I'm like, do I need to try out the trend? Like, I tried so many products in the past that were hyped up and then they were too warm toned or too dark. I mean, NARS Laguna, who remembers that? That whole period of time. It was like 2012 to 2014. The only bronzer every creator on this YouTube thing was talking about was NARS Laguna. NARS Orgasm, NARS Laguna. Doesn't work for me. Both of them don't. Like, Orgasm I hung on to for dear life for a long time, trying to make it work. I now have a Catrice version, which they've already discontinued, that has a cool tone flash. So it's got the corally pinkiness that NARS Orgasm has, but then rather than the gold flash, it has a cool tone flash. Yay! It just works so much better for me. Oh, and that's been the case with so many products where it's just not quite right for me. And at this point in time, I'm like, do I want to spend my money on that? Is that something that I want to go out of my way for and try to? The answer is no. I'm just past it. I'm over it. I don't need the new hyped up thing. I'd much rather just try some brands that I know can do good makeup, like Essence and Catrice, try it out. Of course, like 75% of their new release is just like, nah, it's okay, but did I really need it? No. So that will then be decluttered whenever I do my declutters. But they can do so many great things, and they do so many lovely things. And then I'm like, yes. And you know, this is another reason why I like trying the K-beauty stuff. That's a world that I haven't explored much yet. And some of you have, and some of you follow a lot of creators who actually try out these things. I've now found a couple of people who are doing that as well, so I'm getting lots of recommendations from them. But there again, do I need the most hyped up thing, or am I going to go onto YESSTYLE and buy the things that appeal to me, that stand out to me? And I don't always get it right, but you know, that it's just so much more fun than just buying whatever everybody else is already talking about and just trying to ride the wave. I'm too small of a creator for that wave to actually help me as well. Like, if you are a larger creator that people know, like if you talk about this product, everybody's gonna watch it. I'm not at that level. So I'm sort of trying to do my own thing over here, trying to put my own spin onto things. And yeah, can I talk about hyped up makeup at some point in time? I'm gonna try and see if I can do something maybe November or December-ish. It just takes a bit of time for me to put these kind of videos together, but maybe like what's not worth the hype might be better to do at some point. So yeah, let me know if that's something you'd like me to do and what I can work with. And let me know in a comment down below how you feel about hype, because I know some of you might be like, oh, I want you to try everything. But yeah, I'm not really into the whole hype train anymore. I'm trying to be very picky. It's not that I don't like hype, it's not that I don't like trends, but I pick and choose what I think might actually work for me. And I'm being very selective about it. So let me know how you go about it in a comment down below. Thumbs up the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more by me. I make several videos every single week, so if you'd like to stay tuned for more. And then I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye!